What's going on, everyone? Welcome to The Drop. This is the official podcast of ComicDrops.com. I am not your host today. I'm still Josh Sharp, but I'm not hosting today. As you can probably hear, I'm kind of sick, so hosting duties will not be taken by me today. But joining us, as always, is Ander Lilly. Ander, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Glad to be back.
Okay. I don't know why. Whenever you say that, it just makes me laugh.
Should I change it up?
Just be like, man, I hate this. I hate this job. And the person who will actually be hosting today is Caboose. Caboose, thank you for taking over the hosting duties today.
Well, it's now mine. It's no longer yours, Josh. So I hope you don't mind me just completely dismantling this show from top to bottom. No, I'm kidding. But yes, it's me, Caboose. I'm going to be your host today. Thank you, Josh, for having me on once again.
As well. Yes, indeed.
So, why don't we just get right into it and let me begin my very first podcast hosting job by jumping into some news that broke just prior to the recording of this podcast, in that some news dropped that Black Panther, the solo movie, is officially going to be the greatest Marvel film of all time, as Michael B. Jordan has been officially cast in the film from an exclusive through The Hollywood Reporter, saying that he could possibly be playing in a villain role, but it's all unconfirmed right now. I'm super excited about this. What do you think about this news, Josh?
I'm actually really interested in it. Michael B. Jordan is a fantastic actor. It's very interesting that they said that he could be possibly playing a villain, because that doesn't really seem like the kind of, role that Michael B. Jordan usually flocks to. He usually flocks to more, not heroic roles, but more, just regular
the protagonist
roles,
kind of.
Yeah. Like he did in Rocky or in really bad Fantastic Four movie. But yeah, if he ends up playing a villain, that'd be a really interesting fit for him. I personally wanted him as Nightwing, but obviously that may not happen now. But having Michael B. Jordan is a fantastic pick for a Black Panther movie. So, I'm excited.
Ander, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with Josh. It's a really good casting. I'm just as surprised that he's going to be playing a villain, if the reports are true. But, yeah, this movie's going to rock. This cast is great. And we just heard about, they just added, what's the actress's name? Lupita
Nyong'o, yeah.
Yes, yeah. She was just added, or she's in negotiations or something, right?
Yeah, in talks.
Yeah.
She's joining the film? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's in talks right now. So, yeah, man, if they can land them, whew, this movie's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys. Michael B. Jordan, it's like, it's him and Ryan Coogler, man. They click together. From Fruitvale Station to Creed to now Black Panther. I'm serious. Like, my hopes are so high for this movie. It could be the best solo Marvel film to date, and I am not over-exaggerating when I say that. You got someone
easily
as good of a director as Ryan frickin' Coogler. What he did with Creed, that was my favorite film of last year, and what he did with Fruitvale Station as well. That dude is just on the ball right now. And when you got a cast like Chadwick Boseman, who nails it in Captain America Civil War as Black Panther, and then you got Michael B. Jordan now, and possibly Lupita Nyong'o, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but
I don't know. I always butcher names.
Yeah. But, that's a stellar cast so far, and it can only get better from there. So, yeah, this is just awesome news to me overall. But, moving on. Let's get into our original topics that we have here. The first one being that the new Assassin's Creed trailer just dropped. I believe it was last night, or was it 2 nights ago? Yep. I don't know, but it just recently dropped. And it was pretty damn badass. Lots of things that they are doing for the movie's sake that are different from the games, and lots of things that fans of the game will recognize themselves. I'm a big fan of this trailer. Andrew, what did you think of the Assassin's Creed trailer?
I thought it looked great. I'll admit I'm not the biggest fan of Assassin's Creed, but I loved it. A lot of medieval parkour and some awesome action sequences. Yeah, I think Michael Fassbender, he's going to do a great job in that. The only thing that kind of took me by surprise was the choice of music.
Yes. I was hoping somebody would say that.
That kind of threw me for a loop, but I mean, it didn't like, crush my hype or anything. It was just kind of odd, but yeah, I'm excited. It looks great.
I gotta agree with you. That Assassin's Creed trailer, to me, I was blown away. I was already pretty excited for this film. I mean, I'm a big fan of Michael Fassbender. Like, whatever that guy does turns to gold. He is just a phenomenal actor. And him being in the Assassin's Creed movie was kind of like my only big hope that it would be good. And after seeing this trailer, forget about Warcraft. This could be the definitive video game movie of the year. The movie that finally lets the studios know, hey, you can bank on these video game franchises being movies. I think the smartest thing they did with the Assassin's Creed movie, which is why it can excel so well, is because of the fact that they didn't choose a character from the video games. They didn't choose a storyline from the video games. They created a new character for this movie and a new story for this movie so that they can kind of go on their own path and they don't have to be so tied to the mythology of Assassin's Creed. And granted, they're going to do that regardless. You're going to see a lot of nods to the game, with Abstergo and everything like that. But the fact that they have this brand new character that's not a character that's been in any of the games and everything like that, that's a big, big hit for me. I'm glad that they went with that route because then it allows you to not have too many shackles on yourselves as a filmmaker and everything and as a storyteller. And it allows them to tell a great original story, something that we haven't seen before from playing the previous Assassin's Creed games. Josh, what did you think of the Assassin's Creed trailer?
I loved it. Like Anders said, the choice of music, I think it was like Kanye West or something like that.
I am God.
It didn't fit with the trailer at all. But but overall, it looked really good. It looks visually stunning. There are multiple nods to the actual game, which I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series, like the previous ones, not like the most recent ones. They just kind of suck.
Yeah.
With the leap of faith and Abstergo and the Animus, which is actually different in the movie than it is in the game. In the game, it's this little chair. It's almost like the Matrix, where you go to sleep or whatever. They sedate you and you fall into this kind of like REM sleep, I guess, and you begin to outlive or relive the life of his ancestors. But in the movie, it's like this robot arm, this kind of thing, where I guess instead of him going to sleep and living out the memories, he's actually living it out through his motions, which would make sense because there's this thing in the game called the bleeding effect, which basically means that whatever he does in the Animus ancestor living out part, he'll actually learn how to do that in present day. So basically, I think that's a different way of doing it. That way, it's not oh, so you saw this person do it, so now you can automatically do it like that.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a logical way of
exactly.
working it out. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I like you said, Caboose. I like that they're going their own route by having a new assassin. I honestly thought he was gonna be playing Altair, which I love Altair. I love Altair more than Ezio.
I gotta agree.
I just do. I did hear that it's taking place in the Assassin's Creed universe where Altair, Desmond, and all those guys exist.
Right.
So there maybe sometime down the line, maybe in a second Assassin's Creed movie, if this one does well, we'll see maybe Altair or Ezio, or maybe we'll get a nod to Desmond or something like that. It looks really good. I'm excited. I really hope that this movie breaks the stereotype of all video game movies being bad. The ones we have gotten have been terrible. You've got Doom, you got your Tomb Raiders and stuff like that just aren't good films. But from what we've seen so far, mind you, this is just a teaser that we've only seen, but it looks really good. I'm excited. So bring on December.
Definitely, man. The trailer was fantastic. I'm like, the music for me, like, I wasn't too thrown off by it. Like, for me, I was just like, I was so impressed by the visuals that the music was like, whatever, you know? But yeah, the cinematography looks insane, and it just looks like it's going to be a badass movie. So,
can we talk about the cast for a second? You've got Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard, and freaking Jeremy Irons. I think he's
Alfred.
freaking Alfred is in Assassin's Creed. He's in the trailer for like a brief second, but if you catch him, he's just like standing there, just looking all menacing. I think he's playing a villain. So yeah, the cast, dude, and they have the tools. They have the tools to make this a really good movie, a really good experience.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And you can tell by the way that they've done it. It's not like, oh, this is fan service. We're making the movie for the fans. Like, this seems like the kind of movie that even if you don't know anything about the video games or even picked up a controller to play one, you can still jump into this story and be engaged and have a good time with it.
Gotta agree with you there. All right. Well, that is our thoughts on the Assassin's Creed trailer. Overall, just looks fantastic. I cannot wait for December to hope that it's actually going to end up being a good movie. But moving on to the next topic that we got, it's been officially confirmed that Supergirl is going to be getting a Season 2 renewal under specific circumstances, being the fact that the show is now officially moving over to the CW, making that joke in the Supergirl Flash crossover super meta that the boss lady makes about the fact that they look like a bunch of people from the CW. So, wow, that joke is now super meta. But yes, Supergirl is officially getting renewed. It's having a Season 2, but now it's going to be on the CW. Now, I wanted to open up my thoughts on this because I've never really watched Supergirl, but I've seen some people online that are kind of complaining about this. Like, oh my god, now Supergirl's on CW, now the budget's going to be a lot smaller, the special effects are going to look bad. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what show you were watching, but Supergirl's effects were already not good. So, the show being on CW is not big of a difference. And hell, think about it this way. The fact that this show is moving to CW means that it's going to get a Season 2. It not being on CW or anything like that means that this show, after Season 1, was done. There was not going to be a Season 2 for the show. It didn't look like CBS was going to renew it. People were worried that it wasn't going to get a Season 2. So it's like, why is anyone complaining that the show is getting revived? Maybe it won't be as good special effects wise, or I guess worse than it already was, or anything like that. But you're getting a Season 2. You're getting the show continuing. That is better than nothing. And if it turns out to be bad, then hell, you got something at least. You would have gotten no Season 2 had it not moved to the CW. And the fact that it's moved to the CW now opens a world of opportunities for this show to cross over with great shows like Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, which a lot of people praise that crossover anyways. So to see those characters back again would be fantastic. And as bad as Arrow may be, it has a chance to cross over with that show as well. And maybe revive that show in some way, shape, or form. Josh, what do you think about Supergirl moving to CW and having its Season 2 renewed?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm excited about it, but I wouldn't say I'm upset about it. I never really watched Supergirl like at all. I mean, I watched a couple episodes. I think I watched the first 3, and then I stopped watching it. Then I watched the episode Martian Manhunter, which was a great episode, by the way. And I watched the crossover with the Flash. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It just looked really goofy and cheesy. I think there was like this one section when Barry's trying to get back to his Earth, and like they're running side by side.
Yeah,
you see Supergirl glance over, and freaking Grant Gustin's just like swinging his arms, and it just looked really ridiculous. And I wasn't a huge fan of that crossover. But with that being said, I think it is a wise decision to move to the CW. One, that's where all the DC shows are for the most part. I mean, of course, you have Gotham on Fox, which is actually a much better show than people give credit to. Like, watch Gotham; it's good. Although they're butchering Azrael right now, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, Supergirl on CW, I guess, is a good move. Like you said, the special effects will be downgraded because they will have a smaller budget. But I'm hoping the move will I don't know, help the storytelling, because I don't know, it just gets a little lost for me, and it becomes very uninteresting. The supporting cast, aside from Martian Manhunter, just isn't interesting or remotely fun. At least in my opinion. I mean, if you like Supergirl, I'm not bashing you or anything like that. It's just my personal opinion. But I mean, I guess it's a good move. I guess it makes it easier for crossovers to happen, because kind of doing like crossovering over with a different station like CBS or Fox or whatever.
It's a lot more difficult.
I think I heard it's a little bit more difficult than it is when doing actual like on the actual same like channel. So hopefully we'll get some crossovers with Legends of Tomorrow, which I think would actually be a really, really interesting idea. Arrow, I guess I don't watch the show, but yeah, I'll watch like the season 2 premiere, because I'm interested. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that's like, oh, okay, at least for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't hurt or affect me in any way, but at the same time, I get no gain from it. I'm just like, cool, I guess, you know?
Yep, exactly.
Andrew, what do you think of this news?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. I'm not a big fan of Supergirl. I watched like 2 episodes, like the first one, and then the one about the Black Mercy or something, and then I stopped. It wasn't for me. But just the fact that it's like Josh said, it's easier for Supergirl to cross over and interact with these other DC heroes. That's a big plus, and just having that is a big advantage. And yeah, I could really see her kind of crossing over more with Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. I don't even care about Arrow.
Yes. Plot twist, Arrow. None of us
There's
like
just
Arrow.
no hope for that show.
It's funny because the Arrow writers were just like going off about how excited they were, and everyone's just like, yeah, no, we don't want her.
See, well, I mean,
anywhere near.
If you think about it, the Supergirl crossing over with Arrow really wouldn't make any sense. That's like Superman crossing over with I don't know, freaking Green Arrow or something like that. Like he has all the power. She doesn't need Green Arrow. I mean, she can just fly in there, kick everybody's ass, and then just leave. Or you're gonna need some guy with a bow and arrow for it.
I think it'd be really weird just how like fun her show is, and then to drop her into the middle of that, gloomy Arrow.
Or bring Green Arrow to the Supergirl world, I guess. Maybe that'll liven him up and actually make him feel like Green Arrow, not a green Batman.
You know what's really interesting about this, though, is that Superman exists on Supergirl. So it's like, that opens like a whole new door to the CW now. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Like, I may not like Supergirl. I may not be a huge fan of the show, but there's a lot of potential for some really, really like interesting like episodes and storylines that they could do with Supergirl and Superman.
Just bring Tom Welling back, and the world will never be the same. From all
I would love that.
That would be insane. Yeah. All right. Well, that's our thoughts on Supergirl moving over to CW and getting a season 2 renewal. Moving on to the next story, we got Greg Berlanti, the writer of Supergirl, Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and like a billion other things on the CW, officially confirming that he is writing a script for a Booster Gold film. Josh, what do you think about this?
I mean, Greg Berlanti's okay. He's not like one of those guys like when you see like his name attached to something, you're just like, oh my god, like yeah, like if you had somebody like Jeff Johns or something like that writing something up. I don't really know I don't know a whole lot about Booster Gold. I know like very like few like bits and pieces. I know he's a time traveling like superhero from some century. I don't know. I don't really see. I think my issue with this whole bit of news is I don't see a need for a Booster Gold film. It just doesn't seem like one of those things that it's like it needs to happen. I mean, I guess it could be good. I think I also read something or heard something that they want to put this in the DCEU. Did anybody else see that?
Which would be weird. I don't know if I remember reading that, but that would be really weird.
I think when the initial rumor came out that they were developing a Booster Gold and a Blue Beetle, it was like a buddy cop type movie that they were gonna try to put in the DCEU, which I don't think would be a very good idea. But then again, I don't really know anything about the character or the tone of the movie or the stuff that they're trying to do with it. But I mean, it could be interesting. Greg Berlanti he's a pretty good writer. He's written some pretty good episodes of Flash and Arrow and Legends, especially Legends. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. I'm interested to see what he does.
Andrew, what do you think of the news?
Yeah, I'm kind of have to agree with Josh. I don't know where this could fit if they are going to put it in the DCEU, but I will say though that keeping Greg Berlanti would be a really good job or a good thing, just because no matter what you think of Arrow or Flash, you can't deny that this guy has done a fantastic job crafting this DC universe for television.
Absolutely.
So having him on board is a huge plus, and whether it's Booster Gold or another DC project, I'm all for it. But just like Josh said, I really don't know where Booster Gold can fit, especially in this more realistic, gritty,
just dark
universe. Yeah, and he's so fun and yeah, like you said, a buddy cop with Blue Beetle. I don't know where. I mean, I'm for it, but I just still
it'd be really
don't know.
Interesting. They'd have to do it really. They'd have to do it in a way that we don't expect them to do it and make it like fun. I mean, but mind you, they all said that the movies in the DCEU, they all won't have the same tone. Like Batman v Superman's not gonna have the same tone as Wonder Woman, or Wonder Woman's not gonna have the same tone as the Flash movie. So I mean, it can be done. I just think it has to be done in a certain way that people don't end up mocking the film for being, oh, like this is too. They don't want to go too out of the box, you know. Like
I would say also.
Sorry,
go ahead. I would say, and I would also wait a little bit. Maybe wait until like 2018, where the audience kind of has a grasp of how DC is approaching their universe. Like you said, it's going to be filmmaker driven, but that still might be people still probably have to see a few films just to get a grasp before, you can't just do Batman vs Superman, Justice League, and then Booster Gold, because those are completely different tones.
So yeah, it'd be a huge gamble, especially like let's just say they decide to release it they try to fast track it in 2017. That's a huge gamble. That movie would not make a lot of money because people would look at the trailer and be like, who are these characters? Oh, it's DC. You saw what they did with Batman v Superman, although I mean I liked it. But I mean, and then it would just be bad. I mean, even Suicide Squad is a big gamble for DC. I mean, but now mind you, they've casted big name actors that people go like to see their movies specifically.
People would flock to the theater for those people, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, like Will Smith or whatever. But like, I mean, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, if you're gonna do that and try to do it soon, I mean, they're writing a script now, so I'm guessing it means that they do have a lot of interest in making this movie happen relatively soon. Not like fast tracking it, but I mean, I don't know. I just think they need to, like you said, Andrew, they need to kind of just hold off just a little bit. I mean, yeah, if you want to work on it, that's fine, but kind of just put it on the back burner. Don't try to make it like one of those things that must come out,
Yeah. Not a priority right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with your guys' sentiments on the idea of this. I mean, I don't mind Greg Berlanti writing a script for a Booster Gold film. That definitely seems like it's a little more up his alley, especially when you look at kind of like the lightheartedness and stuff on Flash, although that show can get pretty dark. When it's lighthearted and when it's fun, especially with characters like Cisco and stuff, it's fun, like it's really enjoyable. It's good to watch. It makes you smile. So, like, I don't mind him writing a script for a Booster Gold film because from what I can understand, that character is that lighthearted, fun guy in the comics. And, at best, Booster Gold for DC can kind of be like a PG-13 Deadpool for them. Just this... smaller budget, everything like that, and you got this character that not too many people are familiar with, but has a fan base of people that follow him because he's such a quirky character from the comic books. So they could have, a little secret hit on their hands with this, especially if they make it a bit of a smaller budget. And I know everyone's trepidation is that Greg Berlanti is the guy who wrote the screenplay for the Green Lantern film, and
I was
he
about
didn't
to
do a great
mention
job with that. And yeah, it's good to have trepidation about that because the Green Lantern film was trash, But
True.
do understand that a lot of the reason that movie didn't end up being what it was because of Warner Brothers. They really stuck their hand in the mix, and they changed up the script a lot from what Greg Berlanti's draft was like. So let's try not to point fingers in that direction. But yeah, overall, I mean, I have no need for a Booster Gold film. I'm not begging for one. Mm-hmm. And the way you guys are explaining about this buddy cop with Blue Beetle, I mean, I'm hoping that the Flash film is going to be like that, because I guess it's sort of rumored / confirmed that Cyborg would be showing up in the Flash film. And
wait, really?
From what they're saying, those two characters are going to have a nice camaraderie. So the Flash film is what I'd hope to be, a kind of buddy cop feel with the Flash and Cyborg, especially because those two characters are the most fun in the Justice League. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not begging for a Booster Gold film, although I don't even think that them writing a script for the movie means the fact that it's happening. I think it just means hey, write a script for this and we'll see where it goes, I don't think they're ready to bank on it just yet. So we'll wait and see, but yeah, nobody's really asking for a Booster Gold film, I guess.
Not at all. There's not.
Yeah.
There's no one I know.
Yeah, but moving on to the next story that we have here, Simon Kinberg went on record in an interview talking about the fact that he wants to do another Fantastic Four film, and everyone is already ready to start punching walls. But take a second. So basically, what was happening was, in this interview, he was saying yeah, what we did with the Fantastic Four reboot, it was bad. It was a terrible film. We didn't have a good go at it, but I think we had a good cast. I think we had a good team, and he wants another shot at it. Now, granted, with the recent news that just broke today about Michael B. Jordan being in Black Panther, that's probably a lot less likely than it's ever been. But what do you think, Ander, about another Fantastic Four film with the same cast, just them having another go at it, taking in mind them understanding the huge mistake that was the original reboot?
I was actually just watching this movie the other day.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, it was. It
sorry.
just came on TV, and I just wanted to see how bad it was. But the thing is, this cast is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see them take another swing at it with the right direction, the right tone. But like you said, Caboose, with the news that Michael B. Jordan is in Black Panther, I really don't see it happening anymore. Or if they did, they'd have to recast Johnny Storm. But yeah, I'd be okay with seeing one. I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I mean, the original, the reboot for Fantastic Four, there's so much potential there. The cast is awesome. Kate Mara, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, and totally slipping my mind, the guy who plays the Thing in the film. He's also a fantastic actor, though.
Jamie Bell, yeah.
Jamie Bell, there you go. Yeah, he's also a fantastic actor. So, there was so much potential there. And you can see the potential in, the first 30 minutes of the film. It's not nearly as bad as it gets when you see 1 year later on the screen. There's good there. There's stuff that I was like, okay, I'm really not seeing why a lot of people really hated this film. And then you see 1 year later and it's like, what happened here? Holy hell. But there is potential there. I really would have liked to see them take another swing at it, especially over another reboot, because I think it's either they get another swing at it with this same cast and do a sequel just to gamble on it with a smaller budget and everything like that, so that it's, I guess, less of a gamble, rather than the rights going back to Marvel and then them rebooting it again. I mean, granted, the rights going back to Marvel would be great, because then we can have Doctor Doom under Marvel Studios, which is what I want more than the Fantastic Four. It's Doctor Strange, the Silver Surfer, and Galactus,
and
those
the Skrulls
guys in the MCU, and I'm happy. But yeah, I guess with the Michael B. Jordan news, it's probably not going to happen at this point, and I doubt Fox is willing to do another reboot. They're probably just going to wait their time out until the rights go back to Marvel, or if they were smart and really wanted to try something new, make a Netflix series out of the Fantastic Four. That has some serious potential.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So, Josh, what do you think about this news?
I honestly do not know. I mean, I had a lot of faith in the Fantastic Four when it first came out last year. Like, I was one of those people that were just like, oh, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna suck, oh, blah blah blah, and I was just like, oh, just wait, just give it a shot, don't judge a movie before you watch it.
I was one of those people as well.
Yeah, go watch the movie and form your own opinion. But that movie was just so disappointing. The cast, like you guys said, the cast is great. The cast was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought Kate Mara did an okay job as Sue, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like I'm kind of, even though we've had what, like 3 Fantastic Four movies in the past 8 years, I'm kind of over the Fantastic Four, honestly. I mean, if they went back to Marvel, that'd be a really good choice. But I don't know, giving them another shot. I mean, they've already burned us once, badly,
Yeah.
really badly. But and then, like you guys said, with Michael B. Jordan joining the cast of Black Panther, and I don't know. I feel like the actors wouldn't want to come back, especially if they had such a bad experience. If you watch interviews with Miles Teller and Kate Mara, and they were just talking about how I mean, obviously they weren't like, oh gosh, it was like super bad and like stuff like that. They were kind of just giving us those vibes, and then like the rumors of like the whole thing just being really just bad and not good.
With Josh Trank and everything like that.
Yeah, with him like trashing people's houses, showing up to work like drunk and like high and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't want to come back, and I don't want to see another reboot. So, I mean, honestly, I think at this point, you've tried twice. You've tried 3 times. I keep forgetting about Silver Surfer. You've tried 3 times to make a good Fantastic Four movie. It hasn't really worked out, although I actually kind of like the first Fantastic Four movie. It's something, I don't know, I guess nostalgia, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's just like a fun popcorn movie, like just shove popcorn in your face for 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. And it's kind of sad that's the only accurate depiction of Doctor Doom we've gotten on the big screen. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, I would just say, just leave it. It's just not working. I mean, but if they end up, getting a good director and they end up having, I guess if they have to recast and they end up recasting like I actually saw somebody fan cast the Fantastic Four, and it was really, really good. I forget. I think they had John Hamm as Mr. Fantastic, which I was like, okay. I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
I'm in.
Yeah, that's the only one that I remember because I glanced at it. But if they can get like a really super like awesome cast and a really good director, someone who's known to make really good movies, then maybe I'd give it a shot. But now, after that trash we got last year, no.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate what happened to the Fantastic Four reboot. Like, it was just everything was against it. You got this director who made 1 movie before it, and granted, he did a fantastic job. Chronicle
absolutely
is really good, but Chronicle was made for like $10, and that it was made for like nothing. Fantastic Four, they gave this dude like I don't know what was the budget, like over $100 million, right? So, they threw a flock of money at this guy who just did not know what to do with that money, and it got to his head. People weren't a fan of the trailer. I thought the trailers were pretty damn cool. They looked interesting. They looked fresh. They looked new. But obviously people weren't a fan of that, and a lot of the stuff just got to his head. He just couldn't handle it, and that's really unfortunate. This high budget, you got this studio hovering over you, making sure you're doing the right things. It's scary. It's scary to have that kind of pressure on you. Yeah, to have that kind of pressure on you as a first-time director, I'd say. He was pretty much a newbie at that point. That's really unfortunate. I feel so bad for Josh Trank, because that dude had a Star Wars gig ready to go, and pretty much his whole career was like in motion, and after Fantastic Four, it all came crumbling down, and that is like so unfortunate to see that happen to anybody, regardless how bad Fantastic Four is. That's sad. So I feel for Josh Trank, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much hope. But like I said, hey, if I was working at Fox, I'd be pitching a Netflix series for the Fantastic Four. day in and day out, because a Netflix budget could work for something like the Fantastic Four. So that's my idea. That's my in a perfect world idea. But moving on, let's talk about something else under Fox Studios, and that being the fact that there is going to be a new X-Men film. Supposedly, I believe Simon Kinberg again mentioned this in an interview, that there's going to be a new X-Men film taking place in the 90s. Now, whether or not this new X-Men film is going to be what people are rumoring to be this New Mutants or the next installment, nobody knows. But this seems like some pretty interesting news. Josh, what do you think about the next X-Men film taking place in the 90s?
I kind of just see it as, there's this just confirmation that there's another X-Men movie.
Yeah.
This may come as a surprise to people, and people may not be happy, but I never watched the 90s X-Men cartoon.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it, and I want to, because I hear so many people praising it and saying it was so good. But me personally, I was the Batman animated series guy, and that was like all I watched when I was growing up. But I don't know. I like the X-Men movies. I'm looking forward to Apocalypse, even though people have said that the reviews are kind of mixed. I'm still looking forward to it.
It's climbing. The reviews are definitely climbing. It's a lot higher than it was originally.
Well, yeah, what was it? What was it at originally? It was like
originally it was at like under 40%. Now it's at 55%. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like the X-Men franchise's Spectre. That's what I'm guessing.
Where it's just kind of in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not bad, but it's not amazing,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess I'm interested. The 90s was a good time for superheroes in general. So I mean, I feel like there are a lot of cool things that they could do. I kind of like, if I was gonna choose a villain, I'd want them to go with like Mr. Sinister, and kind of just like, fit him in there.
Yes.
I like Mr. Sinister. He's an interesting villain.
Yeah.
But then again, I also heard them say something that I think there was a rumor out there that's saying that the next X-Men movie was going to be the Dark Phoenix saga.
Right.
I don't know where that takes place in the continuity of like X-Men comics, or I guess Andrew would probably know that better than I would. But I mean, yeah, I guess I'm interested in it. It's another X-Men movie. I like the X-Men. I hope Bryan Singer directs it, because I like Bryan Singer X-Men movies. Or who directed First Class again?
Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn. Oh my gosh, I love that guy. Yeah, either him or Bryan Singer, sure. So yeah, bring on another X-Men movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. The only thing that I'm curious about is they seem to have nailed the new X-Men cast, like the new kids, Ty Sheridan, and the rest of the cast, who's totally slipping my mind. I think you got Cody Smith-McPhee playing Nightcrawler, and you got Evan Peters as Quicksilver and everything like that. Sophie Turner. They've nailed that cast, I'd say. And from what I'm hearing, they're pretty great in X-Men Apocalypse, even in the negative reviews. That's what I'm hearing. So what I'm wondering is, like, if you have this next X-Men film taking place, like, 10 years later, are they going to have to recast? Are they going to make it seem like these guys are a little bit older? Like, how the hell are they going to pull that off? I wouldn't want them to recast, because then it's just kind of like you've wasted that talent already, just with X-Men Apocalypse, and that's it. So I don't know how they're going to do it. But, yeah, like you mentioned, the Dark Phoenix saga, if they end up doing it, I hope they end up doing it right, and not like X-Men The Last Stand, where it was this, like...
What a train wreck.
Just a train wreck. So, yeah, I hope they do it right. I'm looking forward to it either way. I'm a big fan of Bryan Singer's X-Men movies, and I'm still, no matter the reviews, I'm still extremely looking forward to X-Men Apocalypse. Ander, what do you think about this news?
Yeah, the 90s, that's kind of like the golden era of the X-Men for the fans, and so you gotta expect that people are going to be excited for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard some of those mixed reviews about Apocalypse, but I've also heard that it is like the most X-Men-like movie that's come out.
Isn't that so ironic? That everyone complained about Bryan Singer and the fact that he's just never so faithful to the comics. And now what is supposedly the most faithful to the comics X-Men movie is the least praised in the franchise.
Yeah, and, like you guys said, if this might be the New Mutants movie, who knows what it will be about. But I do want the new X-Men that they cast for Apocalypse, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, because I'm hearing that the new ones they really steal the show. This might come to a surprise, but I'm kind of going to go with what Josh said about Mr. Sinister being the villain. I'd say leave out Magneto. I'd say don't bring him into the movie at all.
Really?
You kind of really.
Yep.
I mean, I guess
You don't even want Fassbender's Magneto coming back?
No, I mean, I'd love him in another movie, but maybe not the next one, because it's kind of a repetitive story now where
Magneto overkill.
where it's like Charles sees good in Magneto, but Magneto doesn't perform. The second movie comes out, Charles sees good in Magneto, but Magneto does something stupid and doesn't reform. And now it's kind of like Apocalypse. It looks like the same thing, Eric, don't join Apocalypse. Oh, my family was
dead,
killed.
Man.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like the same story over and over. So it's like maybe we need a little break from Magneto and Charles together. But yeah, I'm excited. The Apocalypse, I know it's been getting mixed reviews, but I still think it looks great. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, gotta agree with you there. All right, moving on to our next topic. Some groundbreaking scoopage has hit the web as people are claiming their inside sources are telling them that SteppenWolf, the uncle, I believe, to Darkseid, is rumored to be the Justice League villain in Justice League Part 1. There's also rumors that Darkseid might be appearing in Justice League Part 1 towards the end of the film and everything like that. This is insane news. I would have never seen this coming, especially after that clip that Warner Brothers uploaded to their YouTube channel showing SteppenWolf in the clip. I mean, who would have saw this coming? I definitely didn't. I mean, I couldn't have written up my own scoop about this for sure. I mean, no shots fired here. But the overall SteppenWolf appearing in Justice League Part 1 for me, that's pretty exciting. It's like Diet Coke Darkseid is Steppenwolf to me. It's
Diet Coke Darkseid?
Yeah, that's what he is, He's like that because everyone's waiting for Darkseid, and Steppenwolf's kind of like, all right, you'll get your Darkseid, just have me instead for the first part here. I'm a formidable foe for the Justice League, which he is. You need some big-ass dude to take on someone like Superman and The Flash and Aquaman and everything like that. So, yeah, someone like SteppenWolf definitely makes sense. And like I said, I'm pretty sure plenty of people were assuming that he was going to be in the Justice League film, considering we saw him in that weird deleted scene thing that was released online. I mean, really, I don't know. Didn't have to take a mastermind to figure that one out. But Andrew, what do you think of this news? Steppenwolf being the rumored villain for Justice League Part 1.
It makes sense. Just like you said, we saw him in that communion scene.
Yeah.
And so it's like what they say. It's supposed to. He's left 3 mother boxes behind, and that's what he's coming back for.
I believe so. I believe that's what the rumor is.
Yeah, and like the Amazons, the Atlanteans, and Man all teamed up to fight off Darkseid. So yeah, I was hearing that like Darkseid appears like in the beginning briefly and then the end, which sounds perfect to me. I'm one of those guys who didn't want Darkseid showing up in the first movie until maybe the end. But yeah, that'd be cool. We also heard that Willem Dafoe might be playing an Atlantean, so that would kind of make sense. That makes sense because the report also said that like Atlantis and the Amazons kind of mistrust. They just don't trust each other after the attack or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, not sure why, but
I don't know. I was
guess
just
that's
being overloaded
the
with scoop, so I just
yeah.
Scoopage, man. It's the scoop.
But yeah, I mean that'd be a perfect way to connect the two movies. I guess everyone was sort of expecting like Brainiac or I don't know. Actually, Brainiac was the only one I thought of.
Well, Josh, what do you think of this just absolutely insane news that nobody saw coming?
This mind-blowing scoopage. Was it even confirmed that there was SteppenWolf? Because I also saw people saying that it could be Yuga Khan or whatever the heck you say.
Yeah, some people were thinking that it's either Yuga Khan or SteppenWolf that is that monster that shows up in the communion video. But plenty of people, like the majority of people, were assuming that it was SteppenWolf.
I think it's because of the mother boxes.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I don't know.
the giveaway.
I feel, I don't know. I don't know about this, honestly. I mean, having the first, now think about it. The first time the freaking Justice League is on the big screen for the first time ever, and they're going to go up against Darkseid's minion, somebody that no one really who's heard of him. Like if you don't read comics, I mean,
well, think about it this way: in the comics, the first thing they fought together was a giant star. So I mean,
really? Oh, Starro?
they fought Starro.
Yeah,
the first.
yeah, that's
I didn't
true.
know that. I didn't know that. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I mean, personally, I want Brainiac. I think Brainiac would be the perfect villain.
I agree with you there.
For a Justice League movie, but I don't know, the Justice League fighting SteppenWolf in the first Justice League movie, it just sounds kind of lame. I do like the premise of about him, in the mother boxes being on Earth and he's coming back to get them. But maybe what if he's not the one coming back to get him? Maybe Brainiac wants the mother boxes for some strange reason. I don't know. I just don't. I wouldn't be really happy with SteppenWolf being the main baddie of Justice League.
I think either way though that the mother boxes are going to be the connection, like the tie to whatever villain it is going to be in Justice League Part 1, because that one turning on in the creation of Cyborg has to have, opened some sort of beacon to Darkseid or to Brainiac or whoever it may be that is the first villain in Justice League Part 1 that causes them to come to Earth. So that's what I would assume. So, all right, and the last story that we have here today is the fact that an MCU Black Widow film is still within question. The possibility is still there. Kevin Feige has gone on record talking about the fact that Marvel is trying to make this happen. They want an MCU Black Widow film. I personally want this as well, but I want this to be a Black Widow Hawkeye movie, because those are the two characters that need their film, I'd say at least. I like these characters, especially after Civil War. I am such a huge fan of Hawkeye. You guys have no idea. And I don't want, what everyone wants with the whole, prequel Budapest movie for Hawkeye and Black Widow. Because, that would be pretty cool, but that's just such, an outside story. But, yeah, I would like these two to be in a film together because, first of all, Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson have great chemistry on screen. They work off each other very well, so some good banter and some good comedy can come out of that. But at the same time, these are two characters that probably they're not going to get their own solo films anytime soon. So to put them together, it's kind of like getting the best of both worlds. It's also rumored that apparently a pitch has been brought to the studio for them to be a Netflix series, or I think it was at least just a Hawkeye Netflix series to feature Black Widow. I'm not sure, but overall, this is some good news to me that they're trying to make a Black Widow film happen, especially considering that it's why didn't they so long ago? Scarlett Johansson's a massive star. Lucy is a big representation of that, where that film was just not really good, but a lot of people went to go see it because of Scarlett Johansson. So a Black Widow film could have worked. But Andrew, what do you think of a Black Widow film still being within question?
I have been wanting a Black Widow film for so long. I'm a huge Black Widow fan. I just think her popularity is so high right now, especially with the good reviews with her role with Civil War. And it's such a perfect opportunity now with how her story concluded in Civil War. I won't spoil it, but it'd be the perfect opportunity to really go into her origin, because we sort of saw that with Age of Ultron, but we didn't really go too deep into it. I mean, I'm kind of going to go against you here, and I would not want Hawkeye to show up at all, mostly because
How
I think
dare
that
you?
would
No, I'm kidding.
I think that would send the wrong message. Like a female character couldn't hold her own movie by herself.
I get where you're coming from.
And like you said, Scarlett Johansson, she's probably one of the biggest female actresses in the industry right now. And I mean, she's getting picked up for all these action roles. Lucy, Ghost in the Shell, even though she shouldn't be in that one. But yeah, I think it'd be a perfect opportunity, especially now. I'd love to see a Netflix Hawkeye too. He's completely underrated as well.
Yeah, Hawkeye is just... I love Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. I wish he was as appreciated as I appreciate him, but he's just not. Josh, what do you think of this news?
It's about to get opposite as hell in this
Oh,
piece.
damn.
I don't think she deserves her own movie.
Oh, damn.
Cut him off. Cut him off.
We're about to start a civil war on the comic drop.
I'm not a huge fan of Hawkeye, although I did
What?
enjoy. He seems pointless. You see the way he was fighting Black Panther in Civil War. He was just dodging them joints, and he wasn't even just like, "Hey, I'm Clint. I don't care. I'm gonna kill you."
Dude, look at his bow that turns into a staff. That shit was badass. Okay.
I mean, yeah, like his gadgets and like his trick arrows are cool, but like the character himself, I mean, maybe I don't know how he is in the comics because I've never read a comic with Hawkeye in it. Maybe he's cool there, but I don't know. In the MCU, I'm not a huge fan of it. But with that being said, I did enjoy Black Widow's like role in Civil War. The movie actually made me like her a little bit more. But I don't know. I just don't think a movie would be the right way to go. A Netflix series, now I could get behind that. Get the fight choreographer from Daredevil and put him on a Black Widow Netflix series. You've got a gold mine right there. But a full feature length film, no, he's not for me. I don't think so.
Well, damn. I mean,
I'm sorry.
You've really upset us today, Josh.
Andrew's all quiet. Man.
Well,
I'm
on
typing
that
up
note,
this hate mail for you.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're not gonna take these bullets for you this time. But on that note,
y'all, you cool.
on that note, we have been scooped today. We've had twists, we've had turns, and we've had a great show. I've had an awesome time hosting. That does it for all the news stories that we have today. Josh, take it away. This is your show, my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. I guess this is the part of the show where we shamelessly plug our social media and things like that, so you can follow us. So Caboose, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at on the interwebs?
Well, you can find me on YouTube at Caboose XBL, and I have a Twitter as well. It is at Caboose_XBL. The Instagram is of the same name. I have a Facebook account, but I highly suggest you don't like it because right now it is a barren wasteland. There is tumbleweed that goes across the screen if you visit that page. I promise you, just wait and you'll see it. But yeah, that's where you can follow me.
I actually did that, and it was really weird. I went to your Facebook page, and as soon as I clicked on it, I felt cold. It was really weird. I legit felt cold. I was like, "There's nothing going on here." Like, usually if you go to a page and you can feel that it's alive and it's moving and stuff like that. You go to the Facebook page, it's literally, I felt cold. I was just like,
yeah,
it's
like the deserts in Mad Max.
Oh my god. Andrew, where can people find you at?
Hey, I'm on Twitter at AnderWriter. Yep, come say hi, ask questions, say Aquaman rules. Yeah, it's good.
Redheads. You can find.
Yeah. All right.
Every single time you say something about Aquaman, I'm gonna mention the redheads.
It's redheads or Amber Heard, right?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You can find me on Twitter at Dark Knight of Ren. 1K for the Dark in the Night. You can also find me on Instagram at DCU News. All of our social media and like YouTube stuff will be in the description box below. And as always, keep it locked to comicdrops.com for the latest news and superhero media, and we will talk to you later. Peace.